Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and guests, if there's any. I want to show you this marble jar. And this is the one I used with my daughter when she was in elementary school. And the idea is simple. When the kid does something good, you put the marble in. And sometimes, like, if she doesn't do all that great, you take out a marble. I don't think I did the taking out part, but that's an option. And with a show of hands, tell me if you've done something like this. Then when you fill the jar up, you start with an empty jar, and when you fill it with marbles, you do something special. You maybe go to Disneyland, or better yet, you go hiking. I think it's probably even better. With a show of hands, tell me if you've done something like this with your children, or if your parents done something like this with you. And so here's the marble jar, and I showed it to you because recently I've been reading this book by Brene Brown. And in this book she tells a story. Because sometimes this type of a jar is used at schools as well. The teacher could put marbles when kids make good decisions and take marbles out when they do bad decisions. So one day her daughter comes home and she's crying. And Brené asks her, Ellen, what happened? And what happened is that something embarrassing happened, and Ellen told about this to her friend. And that friend told the entire class. And it was so bad and embarrassing that the teacher actually took the marble jar of this class and took half of the marbles out of it. And then her daughter says this, I will never trust anyone ever again in my life. And when I read this line, it really spoke to me because I had a similar experience when I was in middle school. And I didn't tell my mom or anyone else, any adults. And I didn't verbalize it like Ellen did. I didn't say I'm not going to trust anyone ever again. But I kind of thought about it somewhere deep in my mind. I put this idea that it's better not to trust others. And I stayed this way all through school. I didn't have really close friends until college, when I think I finally got over it. So reading this line and reading this book was very personal to me, and I was very interested what is Brené's gonna tell her daughter. And what she told her was this: you could have marble friends. And what it means is you start with an empty jar, and when somebody does something which is good for you, let's say the person helps you, or you do something like remembers your mother's name or your grandparent's names, you give them a marble, or keeps your secret and you give them a marble, or you play together and you have a lot of fun and you just like have a great time together. That deserves a marble as well. And then slowly over time you build this marble jar friend, and you say, then this means you build trust. You build trust with this friend, and then you could tell them secrets, and there are your marble jar friends. And it made sense to Brené's daughter, and it made sense to me too. And I thought that it actually could be applicable everywhere. Let's say you come to the club and you're a new member, and people smile to you and they welcome you, and that you don't have to give them marbles for that. And then you give your first icebreaker, and people listen to you attentively, and that's really worth marbles. And then they give you feedback, and it's very positive with some suggestions, and that gives marbles as well. So all of it is very, very, that's the way you build trust. Little events, little moments of every day. And the same at work. You come and you're new to the company, no matter how experienced you were before, you're new here. And somebody smiles at you, and that gives them marbles. And somebody invites you to lunch, and that's a marble. And then you have problems with your local site core, and somebody helps you. That's like 3 marbles. Site core, anything site core, it's extra marbles for that. And then slowly, and then you have a good release, you work together, it worked, ta-da, you feel great, you get marbles for that. And you have a horrible release and things go bad, and you stay late and you work with each other and you fix things, and that earn marbles as well. At one point, Sam shared this article with us that the team building events at companies don't really help building a team. And this kind of explains it, because you can't build trust in just one go, and that's what Brené's book says. It's little moments of every day. That's how you build trust. And sometimes you do something stupid or just not bright. And like on Friday, I promised Brent I will have a team meeting with him about Icebreaker. And I lost track of time and I missed that meeting. And he totally has all the rights to take all the marbles out of my jar. And because I broke this trust. And I hopefully, because I do care, I could bring those marbles. I could build this trust back. And it's the same everywhere. You will, I think the older you are, the more you realize, like, I think you realize that it's never just marbles and we're all gonna mess up. I think with children, like with my daughter, there was time when she was a teenager and I messed up over the years raising her. So one day she just said, "You have no marbles in my jar." And I was like, "Come on, kiddo, it was 16 years of marbles. You can't just throw them away." It wasn't that conversation, but something like that. And all of a sudden, I had no marbles in her jar. And her boyfriend of 2 months had more marbles. And it was tough. And then his mom had more marbles than I did. How fair is that? But it was okay, because truth is, it wasn't about building trust. It was about caring. No matter what, I still loved her. And I still love her. And I still care. And so the little things I did day after day after day, I built this marble jar back. And now when she's 26, we have a really good relationship. And she has a lot of marbles in my jar. And I have quite some number of marbles in hers. And that's how we have trust. To some extent. Her boyfriend probably has more marbles than I do. But they've been together for 4 years. That's like 4.5. That's, he could have more marbles. It's okay. It's okay. But, and I want to finish with this quote from Brené. And it is about building trust. The trust, in fact, earned in the smallest moments. It is not earned through heroic deeds or even highly visible actions, but through paying attention, listening, genuine care, and connection. And this is how it built everywhere. With your kids, with your club fellow Toastmasters, and with your coworkers. Trust built. Trust gets built in the smallest moment. Trust is built in the smallest moments. Back to you.